started. All right, hello everybody. Welcome. It is Wednesday, March 19th, 2025. You are here for How to Build a Consulting Side Hustle with AI in one weekend. My name is Albert, and I will be your host today. I'm the founder of Albert's List. We teach job search, AI, and side hustle skills so that people can never have to find a job again or be so indispensable that they don't have to try as hard to find a job. And today it just happens to be two things. We're talking about side hustles and we're talking about AI. Two things that are very present on all of our minds as we navigate this rough and interesting economy. And today I have my sidekick here, Mohit. He's an instructor here on Albert's List, and he is an AI and real estate entrepreneur, as well as a sales guy by day in the tech industry. And he's going to be here to show you everything that you need to know to build a side hustle with AI by your side. This will be recorded. If you have any questions, use the Q&A or use the webinar chat, and we will get started here now. Mohit, over to you.
Lovely, amazing, Albert. Thank you for having me. And let's go ahead and start this off. So, okay, let's share the results with the poll. So, about 29%, 20 people out of 70 have said that they have not touched any AI tools whatsoever. 66% or 46 people have said that they know something as well. And then we have the experienced folks. So 3 out of 70 or 4% have built something. So we're dealing with primarily I don't want to say novices, but they're ready to open their eyes to more. So hopefully today you guys will learn something. So what will you guys learn? That is a very good question. So what we want you guys to know is how is AI impacting the job market? Why create a consulting business? What is a repeatable framework for testing offers? We call this our 8-step roadmap. So we'll go in depth about it. Practical AI tools and how to use them. AI is only getting better every single day. New models are coming out that are better and cheaper. And we'll talk about some of the ways, and we'll talk about finding out skills and market validation for your consulting business. And then we also want to build a lead list as well. So we'll talk about that. Do we have any questions so far? How does everyone feel? I hope everyone is excited. Drop a fire emoji or like a thumbs up in the chat. Excited. Harshita, good. Woo, Heidi, all right. Cool. I'm still here. Cool. So, who is this for? If you want to start a side hustle with AI, if you have no experience and if you're willing to invest in learning AI for your everyday use. So we don't gatekeep. We're actually going to really use AI. So we'll talk about how to find your skills. What are some people that you can sell to? How you can actually identify certain niches and opportunities and do deep product research as well. So I hope that everyone's excited for some real tangible skills. All right, so don't just take it from me. We've done this webinar, I think, three or four times now, and these are some of the notes that I've gotten. So Peter, Gabby, Leanne, Chinoso, they've said that it's pretty good. I think so. Not to toot my own horn. Anyway, so we know that this isn't bonkers, so let's go ahead and actually talk about how is AI changing the way that we work. The new frontier of AI is that it's going to take over a lot of jobs, but when there is an opportunity for us to look at new technology, it's best to leverage it and become the experts of that as well. So it's going to change the way that we work and change the way that we do our lives. So the nature of work is changing. So about after 2 or 3 years when ChatGPT was released, we know that it's going to fundamentally change. Now, for example, we have things like Lovable, we have things like Cursor. So you don't have to be a data scientist or a programmer to actually code a new app or a new website. So it's going to change the way that we work a lot. I'm also very curious, what is everyone's profession? I'm very curious to see because everyone's experience is going to be different. So please drop in the chat what exactly your current profession is and where do you want to go? Marketing consultant, marketing illustrator, sales, PM, marketing, business consulting, UX, SEO. Okay. And then where do you guys want to go? Do you guys want to stay in the same profession, or are you guys trying to figure out tips and tricks to optimize your current day to day? Side hustle. Well, the good thing is that the skills are very transferable. So build income on the side. I totally agree with that. Management consultant enthusiast, side hustle. Wonderful. And most people have only heard of ChatGPT. In today's lecture, we're going to talk about new tools. So this is one other screenshot of how is AI going to get better and take your job? How is ChatGPT going to take someone's job? And so remember that there's a ton of these jobs that are like the screenshot where they have to copy and paste, or maybe they're just doing a very manual work. So you can find them. We'll talk about how to actually do that. So AI automation is impacting a lot of traditional roles, obviously marketing, finance, operations, HR, sales, and product management. It's going to change the way that we do everything. And so, is this really going to be you? I mean, it's one thing to be very sad and just think about how everything is going to suck, or you can change your attitude and actually show how there's a new opportunity every single day. So, we present scale your skill set, how to create a consulting business in a weekend with AI. So let's go ahead. My story. Albert's kind of covered a little bit of it. I guess I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I used to run a media business where we basically wrote sensational articles and heartwarming articles and distributed them through Facebook. I own some real estate. My day job is in tech sales, and then I'm currently tinkering around with a couple of commercial real estate apps. So one of them is Deal Intel, and one of them is PropertyProfit.xyz. And I am what I would call an AI aficionado. I love AI. I breathe AI, and my friends think that I will turn into AI. So here I am ready to share the blueprint with you for creating a consulting company using AI. So why a consulting side hustle? Very good question. I'm curious, why do you guys want a side hustle in consulting? What kind of skills do you guys have? UX, okay. UX, that's pretty solid. Amazing. Academic, IT project management, business analysis, customer support, having more irons in the fire. Okay, I like that. Bring AI to drug development, lead generation, creating mobile apps. Apps, wonderful. So the good thing is that with AI, the barrier to entry to creating technical items is not that hard. Consulting is really good because you can diversify your income, turn your expertise into revenue, and build something that you own. I think we're all tired of getting laid off. The last couple of years have been not so great in the tech industry and across the industry in general. And it's to hedge against economic uncertainty. And then eventually you could develop it into a sellable asset. And it's fairly cheap when it comes to actually creating a business, relatively speaking. You don't have to buy any inventory, you don't have to put up any cash. The only things that you might have to spend are like $20 on hosting or $20 per month on ChatGPT or any of these AI tools. So relatively speaking, for the amount of money, it's a fairly lucrative opportunity. So I had an idea a couple of years ago, and that my expertise is extremely valuable. I'm in software sales, and I was at a crossroads of trying to figure out what is useful, is selling useful. And this led me to discover what are in-demand skills that I possess and what are some of the industries that actually need my expertise. So with that, I started to slowly figure out what are some different side hustles that I could have. I use cold email to really target a very wide offering of ideas and see what gained traction. And then through trial and error, I discovered the 8-step roadmap. So let's talk about what the 8 steps are. Number one is you have to find any sort of idea. You have to figure out what is your offer. Number two is you have to define your ICP, your ideal customer persona. It is going to talk about who is going to buy your product. Number three, we have to do market research online. Every single day, there's new competitors that are popping up because of AI. Who is going to buy our product? And I believe that the riches are in the niches. Number four is how can we set up a landing page? So it's great that we have an idea. We ultimately need to transform this to the internet. How do we go ahead and do this? And number five is great. We've got our little billboard on the internet. How do we find customers? We talk about this, which we do via cold email. Number six is that we reiterate messaging based on feedback. Not everyone is going to love our initial messaging. It's not going to hit with everyone, especially if you do cold email. So what you have to do is just iterate and improve. And then number seven is how do we create SOPs, standard operating procedures? How do we use SOPs to optimize and make our processes more efficient? How do we use AI to do that? And number eight is finally scaling our operations. Can AI do it, or do we need to hire a human? This is all how we can build a very scalable business. So who's excited to learn more about these? Drop it in the chat. Can you guys see my presentation, by the way? No? Okay. Okay, so most people can. All right, wonderful. So what is scale your skill set? So this is a preamble to a course that we developed called Scale Your Skill Set. So we help you get started with entrepreneurship, build out your market research and offer development, talking about how to build infrastructure and test your offer. So building landing pages, how to get your message across using cold email, scaling and measuring success. How do we do this? Automate, delegate, and execute. So ultimately, how do you scale yourself? Defining your customers and getting customers as well. And ultimately, how do you build a small business? You don't have to feel pressured to buy this, but if you like this webinar, there's a lot more where that came from. So this is just a little taste. So the formula that we've kind of talked about is to start out with an idea, define who we're going to sell to, conduct online market research, set up landing pages, find the first few customers and set up a cold email system and reiterate messaging. So we'll go through the first three or first four, and then we'll talk about others. So has anyone heard the words KISS, keep it simple, silly? Cool. KISS is meaning don't reinvent the wheel. You don't need to make your initial offering very complicated. What you first have to do when it comes to actually kind of getting an offer is to keep it simple. And the goal is to get people to respond to your cold outreach. So let's talk about some tools that I like to use. I don't like to gatekeep. One of them is ChatGPT Pro. The other one is Claude, Gemini, Merlin.ai, Perplexity, Replit, Lovable. Canva is pretty cool. Card, Namecheap. There's a lot of templates too, website templates. And then how we do outbound is we use cold email inbox rotation, domain and inbox enrichment and registration. So how do we get emails? How do we find emails? So we use AirScale. And then how do we use VAs? So where do you find them? How do we manage them? And what are some other ways that we can scale? All right, let's ignore some of this and let's go ahead and let's go to LinkedIn. Can everyone see my LinkedIn? I want everyone to go to linkedin.com. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds to 1 minute. So go to LinkedIn, go over to your profile. You guys see this right here. Is everyone on LinkedIn? Okay, wonderful. Now, you guys should go ahead and click resources. Click that, and then you should be able to see something called save to PDF. So now there's, if we go under resources, Heidi, go to your profile. Go to your profile and click resources. This is what shows up under mine. So click me, go to view profile. View profile, you'll be at your profile. Click resources and then click save to PDF. There, what you'll get is a PDF of basically what your resume looks like. It's a 4-page PDF. Let me know if everyone's able to access theirs. Cool. We have a couple people that got him. Deep, do you have your profile as a PDF? Got it. Got it. Wonderful. We'll wait for a few more people. This is a very interactive exercise. Now, can everyone drop some of their favorite AI tools that they've used? I'm very curious because I'm going to show something where many people may not have heard of it. Claude, okay. DeepSeek, VO, Cursor, Claude. Cursor is really cool. Jasper, okay. Jasper.ai, ChatGPT. I'm surprised no one said Grok. Microsoft Copilot, okay. Mike, so basically if you go to your profile, click on find my profile, go to resources, it should be here, and it'll give you the option to download your profile as a PDF. I do love Grok's deep research tool is really good. Cool. So we'll give it Dolly. Okay, Dolly's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, Perplexity does have deep research too. Midjourney, yep. All right, guys. So now let's go ahead and I'm going to show you guys Merlin.ai, getmerlin.com. So basically why I like this is that I have the ability to access many different models, including DeepSeek, GPT-4o, 3.5 Sonnet from Claude Gemini 2.0 Pro, DeepSeek V3, Llama O3 Mini, Flash, and the newest Claude models. I am turning on Merlin Magic. And what Merlin Magic is going to do in this case is it is going to it's going to analyze my prompt and what I gave it, and then it's going to be able to select the best model that's suited to this purpose. Yeah. Getmerlin.in/chat. I do have a pro version. This does cost, I think, $20 per month regularly, which is the equivalent to ChatGPT Pro. It has a lot of the same features that Claude does. So we have projects, we have like tasks. So I can go ahead and set a task, and I can also do image generation, kind of like Flux, and I can have bots as well. So like kind of like little AI agents. So just a little precursor of why I like Get Merlin. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is upload the profile that we had just downloaded. Is everyone with me? Has everyone done that? This is a very interactive exercise. Drop a thumbs up or like a fire emoji or something like that if it's uploaded. Cool. Thumbs up. Amazing. Got it. Great. So what we're going to go ahead and do, and one thing that I really like when I'm using Merlin, and the reason why I like to use Merlin is because I use what's called a prompt scientist. And I'm giving you guys some sauce. I don't know how many other AI tools have this, but the thing for prompt scientists is going to help you optimize certain prompts um for certain situations. So you are tasked with finding a specific consultancy based on my skills. I want you to enrich this prompt being a machine to fully optimize finding a consultancy suited to me. And what this is going to do is create a prompt that's really going to really drive in. I like to think like a machine so I can get the most optimal results. Sometimes the machine is going to think better than I can, is what I think. And so this is the prompt that Merlin gave us. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this into the chat. Well, I guess it's way too big. Oh, Albert, how would I? Okay. So if you guys want to write this down and see whatever AI tool gives you. What I'm trying to do is, how do I copy this particular feedback? I think it's too big. What I can actually do is docs.new. Let me go ahead and paste this prompt. Let me go ahead, share via web. There we go. Oh my God. Why is it not letting me do that? Okay, this is weird. It's not letting me share this. It's okay. You guys can use that prompt. So get that prompt and go back to Merlin. You can also use ChatGPT. I like to show Merlin off just because it's very powerful, and I like to show people new AI tools. So using this link, whatever I posted in this link, we're going to go ahead and do that. And so go ahead and enter this in, and let's see what it's going to give us. So using O3 Mini, it is going to give us a lot of different skills, and it'll enrich it based on our resume, essentially. Interesting. Okay, that's not what I needed. So let's talk about, is this fully done? Let's go ahead, wait till it's fully done. And then let's go ahead and break down why I wanted this. So the reason for me prompting it like this and what we're looking for is we want to understand our skills. So it says that I have certain tech competencies. I have certain industry experiences. What did okay, Mike. And then it'll talk about some of my strengths. And then number two is very interesting. It'll actually talk about what Heidi what's if it's different, then grab the output from the prompt doc that I sent. It's a Google Doc. So the goal of this is to understand what are we good at and what might be some the Google Doc here is right here. It should be there. Can I pin it? No. It's in the chat right there. Make sure everyone can see that. If you guys scroll up, then it should be there. It's delivered at 7:30. The Google Doc should be up. Albert, can you see the Google Doc? It should be
I don't see it. It's on your other tab.
all right. Can everyone see it now?
You're not there yet. You're still on the Merlin AI chat.
No, no, no. The Google Doc is a link that I sent in the webinar chat.
Oh,
Yeah, basically everyone's saying that there's different
make it public.
yeah, here. I just published it to the web. Cool. So use that output and then put that with your LinkedIn profile that we export as a PDF. It should be public. Oh, here, let me. Cool. Try it now. There we go. So go ahead, copy all of this stuff, copy all of it, and then put it into Merlin, ChatGPT, put it into Claude, whatever you guys want. So just to kind of go over it, just to kind of show you guys what some of the magic is, we'll talk about skills. It'll give us our skills output, what we're good at. Part two is what do we think we would excel at based on our skills? Number three is what are some top recommendations? What are some rationales? And what are some strategic next steps? So imagine you want to own a business specifically in consulting. Based on the skills and assessments we've gathered from my LinkedIn profile, give me 10 ideas and rank them from to 10. Have specific uh, have specific criterias and grade it on a rubric. The prompt is below. It's in the webinar chat. And so if everyone's got that prompt, let's go ahead and go into Merlin or ChatGPT or Claude, whatever is your AI tool of choice. And let's go ahead and actually select, let's enter this. And so it gives us certain criteria. So what I like to do using AI is try and figure out very structured ways of how to think about things. So I generally like it to give me certain rubrics so that it'll sort of have different weights on them as well. And it operates a little bit more like a hypothesis with a quantitative aspect to it. Is this useful, guys? It seems like it's pretty useful. Cool. Now, in pretty useful, amazing. And in my case, because I have a real estate and a tech background, it'll say real estate investment advisory consulting. Um, it might be because, oh, I don't know why it's saying real estate. Interesting. So this is very catered to me. So we'll talk about market demand, experience match, scalability, barrier to entry, and revenue potential. And so it breaks it down by saying total, what's our focus, what's our differentiator, and what is our target. So it kind of gives us why we should do it, how is our unique selling point, and how we're going to target everything. So let's say that I wanted to do this particular exercise. So I'm going to go ahead and press Q. Q, if within Merlin, it's to quote. So what you can do is just go ahead and copy and paste if you don't have Merlin as well. These are real time, so I'm able to surf the web using Merlin as well. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is talk about, it'll give me this, expand more on this. Create a rudimentary business plan and include a SWOT analysis of the opportunity. I do have the paid version. Try using Claude or try using ChatGPT. How did I select real estate? I've always had a love for real estate, and that's what I kind of went to. All right, so what I'm going to do, how I selected this was I highlighted this. Let me go up. Within Merlin, what I did was I used this, and it'll say quote, and if you press that, it'll bring this particular quote, if you will. The steps are here. Oh, okay. All right. High-end business plan. So let's go ahead and see what the machine is thinking. It gives us a vision, the executive summary, SWOT analysis, weaknesses. Yeah, give me a sec. So going over the AI response, let's actually see it in action. Executive summary, SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so I like to say like service offerings, deal analysis and due diligence, value add implementation, different revenue streams as well. So I'm very curious, what did everyone else get this to? Is there a way to verify authenticity? So the reason why I like Merlin is that usually it'll have citations as well. So if it says sources, it'll be able to usually have sources. I think Claude. So this is wonderful. AI product strategy consultant. It's very interesting how everyone gets very different items. So we have this high-end plan. So what we're going to go ahead and do next is, great. Can you please suggest the next logical step? Build out an ICP. We have our idea, and now it is time to target people based on the revenue streams listed. Rank the most lucrative to the least lucrative. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this, but I'm not yet done. Rank it from the least lucrative to the or most lucrative to the least lucrative. Export the results in a table. All right. I am going to paste this. You can also use your resume as well. All right. Does everyone have the prompt ready? Cool. Let's wait for a few more people, and then we can go ahead and paste it. I'll give you guys one minute. Harshita, if you scroll to two messages prior, then you'll see it. Oh, here. All right, let's go ahead and paste it, or not paste it. Oh, sorry, guys. I need to slow down. So what this chat is giving us right now is showing us an ICP. So we have the next logical step, and it'll talk about, okay, how to where to find these people. Who are these? Um, okay, I pasted it. Does everyone have it? Wonderful. This is the last. Oh wait, no, sorry. No, this is the no, this is the last one. So let's go ahead and actually see what the output of this prompt was. Let's see high net worth individuals, family offices, small to medium sized investment firms, and real estate syndication groups. Here we have our ranking our revenue streams. So kind of going back to your consulting, we're talking about where is the best place to make money. The ICP one is there. I sent it at 7:45. Here it is again as well. Yeah, sorry if we're going super fast. No, this is just the last one. Is everyone keeping up? Let's do a quick little temperature check over here. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you guys finding this valuable? Amazing, amazing. My blood sugar is cool. So now we have our revenue systems. This might be because we're on different platforms. Renee, what you can also do is look back at the recording and kind of follow step by step. So next, let's talk about our summary of ICP and revenue rankings. Now, why is this important? So the reason is that for the ICP focus, we want to understand who is our target demographic. And the second part is that we want to figure out where is the highest likelihood of finding revenue. So right now, what we've gone ahead and done is actually we've done steps 1 and 2 in the in this particular 8-step roadmap. So 1 and 2, and generally speaking, if there are other competitors in the space, you would want to know about them as well. So we've done 1 and 2. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is do step number 3. So we're going to go ahead and do market research. This seems like a validated response or validated market. With market, we have a great working document, step-by-step process. Okay, we could factor that in next time. With market research, we want to find some competitors in the industry we're looking to serve. Please come up with a list of companies in the existing market. All right, I'm going to go ahead and paste this prompt in. Thank you, Heidi. And then let me go ahead and paste this last prompt. Cool. Now, is everyone kind of caught up with having their ICP focus and their revenue rankings? Yes. Okay, we'll give it about 1 more minute. Yeah, so here is the prompt one more time. Cool. So I'll start the prompt in 20 more seconds when it reaches 7:51. Cool. So you guys have another 10 seconds to get caught up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this has generated a table. So imagine does it work with all the geographical locations? It should, if you want like the whole goal for these prompts is to use these as inspiration. You guys don't have to use it exactly. If you guys wanted to tinker with it, you guys can. The point of this is to showcase different ideas of how to use AI. And so with this output, it seems like these are all national firms. Now, these seem to cater to national firms. Think of it as you're supplying to SMB. SMB enterprises who want a more approachable and hands-on method. So I like to chat with it, and basically what these have done is we're going to narrow it down to the SMB sector. So I like this, but let's go ahead and narrow it down to folks that may want to work with us as well, not these giants in the space. And I'm going to paste it in the chat. And so now what it's resulted in is SMB. You can say, are you guys hiring? But the reason why we're doing this is to understand who else is in our market. Because ultimately, when you're offering consulting, you do have to do a little bit of selling. If you guys run out of prompts, what you guys can do is go to Grok, ChatGPT, Claude, although I don't think Claude has internet access. If you guys go to Grok, it'll be fantastic. So this is kind of Grok should be free. They'll give you a certain number of queries. And all you guys have to do is really like use up like you guys have to make your account with your Gmail or with your Apple ID, anything like that. Yeah, so what we can do is can you what I like to do as well is come up with a prompt to input into a different AI tool. Summarize the conversation, be in detail. So what I'm doing right now is if you guys are running out of free queries, I'm going to summarize everything that we've talked about in this chat. And you guys can put that into your new AI tool. Okay, and then let's go ahead and go back to the inserts. Where's page break? You know what? Let's just do tab 2. So this should be here's the link. And so this is a link with the Google Docs, just in case if you guys have hit the free queries. So now that we've basically done some market research, help me create some ideas for a name for my consulting business. You are a brand strategist and marketing genius trained under David Oljivy and are an expert in direct response marketing and creative branding. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and paste this into the webinar chat. Please let me know if you guys can see this. And then the point of this prompt is to make sure that we've got our differentiators. Excuse me. And now let's go ahead and actually think about how we're going to market our new offering. Oh, oh, jolly. Yeah, I thought that looked wrong, but cool. So I'm going to go ahead and click enter. And so it kind of sticks with the rubric, and it has some fairly cool names. So what have we done so far? Who can kind of reiterate within the comments of what we've done using AI? Cool. How is everyone tracking right now? We have 94 participants, 92 net. So who can summarize what we've done in Merlin thus far? Does everyone understand the logic of the thinking here? Do one of you guys want to kind of try to break down what exactly we have done? Okay, SK's nailed it. Exactly. Exactly. Cool. So it seems like a fair number of you guys are understanding the logic. Has this been very helpful for you guys? Tools are cool. I hope that this has been very useful. Now going back to steps 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, where we can go ahead, set up landing pages, um, find the first 5 to 10 customers, reiterate the messaging based on feedback, and create SOPs. Then this is basically the bulk of it. Ideas are a dime a dozen. So the goal for this is that maybe your first idea isn't going to be a hit. Within the course itself, we talk about how to scale your offering, what kind of tools we use to actually create cold email response, or not cold email responses, how to get cold emails out there, how to find lead information, and the real nuts and bolts of how to actually do that and actionable steps from my particular experience. And I'll actually put the curtain back and show you guys some data, some real responses that I'm getting. Cool. And so it's now my time to like pitch what we're offering. I think that we've given some valuable information. So Warren Buffett says that the best investment that you can make is in yourself. And so that includes you guys as well. So I'd like to highlight Peter Zimmer. He was a business analyst. He had a job in oil and gas. He wanted to upskill himself, and he was a PM and a business owner. And AKA he was a business whiz. Peter had basically created a written recommendation, and this was basically what Peter had. So Peter learned a great deal of knowledge in this class, a large amount of practical experience, and then the only limit in your time is to create and present your work. And so he gives a breakdown as well of what exactly is useful and what he benefited from. So next up we have is Wafa. Wafa was also one of our other students, and this is what she had to say. So she gained how to use tools for building websites and landing pages, how to generate leads, how to create content, use AI to refine leads and ideas. And every single video builds on the next. And we talk about how to find VAs, we talk about how to manage them, how to use project management tools, and other ideas that we could do. So next thing, what we're going to do is we have special webinar pricing just for you. Albert, would you like to go ahead and pitch what we have? I hope that we've added enough value.
Yeah, I'm happy to pitch that. So, Mohit has gone out of his way to create a course called How to Build a Side Hustle with AI in One Weekend. It includes a lot of what you have just learned today with the prompting, but it also goes deeper into discussing how you can use the various tools that exist on the market today, whether it's emails, marketing automation, and so forth. And so this course is usually $197. We're offering it to 60 at 67 for all those of you who are on this webinar today and have signed up. And so I think Mohit, what do you cover in depth in this particular offering that maybe attendees might not know about?
Yeah, so basically what you guys get in this offer is like a scalable way of actually how to like send cold emails. I have sent several thousand cold emails, and the best way to understand what offer actually works and to have a scalable business is to go ahead and test a bunch of different offers. So we talk about how to send cold emails, how to figure out your ideas, how to create SOPs, using AI, how to hire your virtual assistants. So VAs are folks that live in a separate country and they work under you. So it's really about the back end of building a business and how to think about business as well. So I hope that that's a pretty good preamble, and it does a lot more than what AI, just spit out. It could be AI slop for all I know. It's all about the execution.
Yeah. And so, can anyone from any industry create a consulting side hustle with your course?
Yeah. The goal is that I mean, it shouldn't take you more than a couple of days to get everything together. You can create a landing page pretty easily. You can hire a VA. You can set up cold emails. It doesn't take that much time. I show you how AI can write your emails for you. I show you beyond just finding ICPs, it'll create different sequences, and I show you the actual tools to send out cold emails and actually use LinkedIn to find people that may want to buy it. You don't know unless you talk to them.
Awesome. Wonderful. So let's take some questions. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to the course in the chat again. Is there anything that any of you were doing as you were figuring out what you could be a consultant in that maybe you have a question about? I know you were using Merlin, there's folks using ChatGPT, maybe some using Claude, but all of it offers some really great opportunity. Okay. No questions. Anything else about the course that our that's available? Walter is asking, do you offer one-on-one consulting in addition to your course?
I can do that. Let me think. Yeah. Yeah. If you're interested, we can set something up.
Yeah. How can this course help us stand out in a competitive market?
Well, I mean, it'll tell you like in reality, it's just about your positioning, like your messaging and your positioning. It's the same thing for everything. So the more specific you could be for like the riches are in the niches. If you can find out where's your niche, then you can find some success. It doesn't take that much money to stand out. And once again, it's a side hustle. If it makes you $1,000, $500, it's still a win. We're not saying it'll replace you, but it'll replace your W-2. But if it can generate a couple hundred to $1,000, then it'll greatly benefit.
And what can you do with it a couple extra hundred to 500 bucks, right?
It's a
So,
car payment. You can lease a brand new Tesla for that.
yeah. I'm a daily accountability coach reaching out to individuals. Any suggestions on that?
Um, Daily accountability coach. I would urge you to figure out who is going to be your ICP, and I think that the threat you might face is going to be the fact that, okay, if I can build a bot to do this, how will this be any different? So the way that I like to also phrase my ideas are, what will I do that AI can't? Cool. So how many people have bought it so far? I
I've
think we
seen
have,
two people have jumped
oh,
across.
wow, that's wonderful.
So, yes, don't waste your money on a Tesla. Okay.
I have a Tesla Model 3. I love my car. So,
Don't say that now. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, you're gonna have the whole entire chat turning in
all
against.
right, yeah, cool.
All right. Any other questions? Anything else about the course, monetization, and so forth? If
Yeah,
there's
and I'm also going to add to it constantly. Like I keep texting Albert like random things, like random videos that I'll just make, and I keep updating it. So it'll get updated
if
periodically.
you buy it once, you will get all of the updates. Yep. So the course link is right here. It is available to you today for $67. I assure you, knowing that, what you can learn about AI, that if you can turn $67 into 1,000, then you're doing a pretty good job there, right? Um, the thing with entrepreneurship that I've learned is that you have to make money or you have to spend money to make money. So Heidi, if you're not ready to sign up, I'm going to be sending out reminder emails for I think the next like 3 weeks, because I want you to think through it and I want to just give you all the angles that you think that you need to understand what you're buying yourself into. Can you share the stats on success rates of those who ran through the full course?
Um, we've had folks like start, ultimately the execution is on them, where I can give you guys the instructions on how to build a house. Ultimately, will you guys build a house? I think most of our students have taken some sort of action, but I don't know what the follow-up has been. Cool. We have, I think I'll be on until 8:15. Any
Yep.
other questions?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say the offer will be valid. I don't know. I'm feeling generous, so probably like April 5th or something. So you get a couple of weeks to think about it. I'm gonna send you all the video a few times. And yeah, if you are on this email, then the reminder will be sent to you, and we will have this. And if you're still thinking about it too, Mohit will be doing this webinar again next month. Although I don't know if he'll want to do it. They'll do the course at the same price. Um,
It depends. I mean, I know we will at some point. The price it may go up because I am constantly adding more videos. So
yeah,
I actually created this actually a little treat that I might want to share. And Albert, keep talking. Sorry if I'm cutting you
yeah.
off.
And I know some of you are also asking, what is it that how many people have completed the course so far. I think if I look at where things have been with that, we have we've had 18 people purchase the course so far. The course does not include any QA or office hours, but that's something that I think if the demand rises and you all want that, then we can offer that as something a little bit
We
extra.
can consider it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So what is it that you wanted to share?
Yeah, so this is something that I actually wrote using Lovable. And then I'm planning on recording a video of this. So this is basically a real estate calculator that I've made. And what it does is that what it'll do is I have a bunch of information. I have this address. Oh wait, I have this, my purchase price, call it 200 grand. And it's a real-time calculator.
Nice. Look at that.
And it updates in real time and it'll give you key investment metrics. I have an AI plugin where it'll tell me, is this good? Is this bad? It'll have a graph over 10, 5, and 30 years. I also have sub-market stats. And I have a sensitivity analysis too, based on what everything is going, cash on cash, different metrics. And I built this in a couple of days. I have a 5-year projection plan. I can save scenarios as well. And then I can also download everything and it'll export it in a PDF. So I've done all this using AI. I use lovable.dev and it's got a backend and it's really cool. So I'm not gonna say that I'm an AI expert, but I know a thing or two. And if you guys want to figure out how to build a scalable business, including outreach, go ahead and get the course.
Awesome. Cool. Well,
Cool.
that's it. If you're interested in purchasing the course, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link here again. If you're interested in visiting us again next month and seeing if Mohit has new additions that he'd like to share with you, this is the link here. I will be sending you the link to the recording via Eventbrite. It will be uploaded to YouTube and you'll be able to follow along there. And we also have tons and tons and tons of more webinars coming up. If you're looking for something simpler, we have a basic AI skills course or basic AI skills webinar that happens tomorrow, along with many other events that go on throughout the rest of the week and into the following weeks ahead. Thank you so much for attending today. We look forward to it. We'll be following up with you in the days and weeks ahead, and we hope you take the course and empower yourself to build your own business. Thank you so much again, Mohit, and we will see you again soon.
Cool. Take care.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.